David, I would love to start with you. You're trying to tackle the concept that you have labeled the Franken stack. Even though the term is new to me, the concept is something that's been discussed on this program a lot. Just explain what Reevo wants to achieve here.
Sure. Well, first off, thanks for having me. It's a big day for us. Look, AI is the biggest shift in enterprise software since the cloud. But the reality is revenue teams are still stuck in, like you said, what we call the Franken stack, which is a dozen different tools that don't really talk to each other, causing sellers to waste over 70% of their time wrangling software instead of talking to their customers. And that's really painful. Reevo is looking to fix that via one unified revenue operating system built from the ground up with AI at its core. And with this 80 million raise, we're scaling quickly to help all companies win in the age of AI.
Vinod, I was talking with my team this morning about the structure of this round. And so it's basically a combined seed and Series A. And Reevo is coming out and kind of announcing itself to the world. Would you kind of give us the backstory? You know, you are an experienced investor in the world of technology. When this crossed your desk, how did you know that you needed to get involved? And how did you determine at this very early stage the potential that Reevo had?
Well, the opportunity didn't actually cross our desk in a traditional way. We've known David for a long time, from DoorDash to OpenDoor to OpenStore, and now Reevo. We've been incubating ventures with him. My partner, Samir, has worked closely with him on Reevo. And we cooked up the concept, brainstormed it, and thought it was important enough to do. In the age of AI, I think most applications and application stacks need to be rethought. And this is David, just a superstar entrepreneur. So it was pretty easy.
Vinod, is this an example of you investing in the known quantity founder then, rather than the idea?
Absolutely. When we invested, the idea wasn't clear. That was a year and a half or 2 years ago. But the founder was very clear.
David, I'm trying to track the growth that you've had. So spring of 2024, you kind of come up with the idea, I guess, incorporate a business. And you've hired, I guess, aggressively. You know, you're sub 100 people still, but you've basically gone to companies that are well known globally, not just here in the Valley, and taken the best people you can. What was that like?
Well, yeah, you're spot on there. The company you build, taking a page out of Vinod's book, but the company you build the team you build is a company you build, not the plans you make. And when we thought about tackling the space of unifying all of go-to-market tech in one system, spanning marketing, sales, and success, we really needed to make sure that we had the talent density, both from a technical perspective, but also from a go-to-market, to really bring together the combination of the depth of domain knowledge, plus the ability to access the first-party data to really pull this vision off. So global talent is necessary for us to make this a reality.
David, what else do you need the $80 million for?
Yeah, well, it's over the next few months and quarters and years, our vision is clear. We need to continue accelerating our product roadmap to build out both the breadth of the surface area to serve our customers, but also making sure that every single capability is the best possible from a depth perspective. But more importantly, in the age of AI, context matters. And it's very important for us to double down on making sure that our AI operating system is able to work seamlessly across every single one of these modules, capabilities, jobs to be done, so we're not replicating another Franken stack for the future world. So that's what we're going to use the proceeds to do.
Vinod, I go back to you with the concept of the Franken stack. You're invested everywhere. One of the first checks into OpenAI. The world has changed a lot since then. You know, we had yesterday Sridhar from Snowflake on the program talking about the problems right now in the data layer. What do you make of the Franken stack? Is that a real thing, or this is just a marketing opportunity around this round?
No, I think it's a real thing. Of course, AI enables each startup to do a lot more than it could do. 20 engineers can do the work of 60 engineers if you use the productivity tools AI enables. But more than that, the user experience can be dramatically different with the help of AI. As I like to say, in the old world of applications, users had to learn an application and they learned each vertical stack. In the new world of AI, the application learns the human and responds the way it should. It's my favorite way to think about the transition AI makes possible. You don't have to be trained on an application like SAP or Hubstack. The application gets to know you and other humans on your team. And so it facilitates not only the function, but also workflow across people and across applications. I think it's a pretty important shift in software.
To both of you, I kind of like to end the conversation by going a little bit bigger on the world that we're in right now. You know, David, if you could reflect on what it was like doing this round, there is a lot of energy behind AI right now, but at the other end of the spectrum, there is valuation concern. You know, there's no difficulty in OpenAI or Anthropic, those kinds of frontier labs gaining capital, but there is a lot going on right now. Would you just reflect on what the last few weeks has been like in trying to close this?
Well, the fundamental difference is clear with our approach. We're AI native and purpose built for revenue teams. And so, when you talk about the old players that are trying to bolt AI onto a legacy stack, it just doesn't work. What we're building with Reevo is akin to how Tesla built its cars, vertically integrated with AI at its core. This way, our AI is able to see and act across the full customer journey. So the old players are held back by their past, and the new players, to your point, don't have the depth of domain knowledge, nor the access to the full suite of first-party data to pull this vision off. So Reevo is building with both. And yes, it's hard, but that's really what makes it defensible and worth doing.
Vinod, you're co-leading this round with your friends at Kleiner Perkins. Again, the same question. Like, what does the environment look like to you right now? This is a very sizable debut round. You had the conviction to do that.
Well, it was a while ago we did the seed round of 10 million that wasn't announced. And now we just participated in the $70 million round. Obviously, we think highly of the team. But I think it's the magnitude of the opportunity this opens up for AI native companies. I like to say most valuations won't hold up in the AI space, but the ones that are really high quality companies will return disproportionate returns. In 2018, people said to me $1 billion valuation for OpenAI was too high. Then they said 26 billion was too high, and then 100 billion, and then 300 billion, and then 500 billion were all too high. So a small percentage of the companies, I suspect much less than 5%, will actually do extremely well and return 10, 50, 100 times their money invested. Most companies will still lose money, and I think that's why you want to back quality founders like David. David's a superstar. I'd back him in almost anything he did.